Hello, and welcome to Reading the Game, the show where I read the game, you get to listen to me read the game, we all get to learn something about our favourite games. Today, we are reading some more Genshin. I have 10 Genshin books currently collected, and I've read 3 of them, so I rolled a d8. Here's how it went. First I rolled an 8, which meant I needed to re-roll because we only had 7 books, and then I rolled a 2, which gave us The Legend of Vennessa. And we know who Vennessa is. We know that Vennessa is a hero of Mondstadt, who ascended to Celestia. She is the OG Dragon Fang Knight, and is really the only person that I recall so far that has actually managed to ascend to godhood. It is fascinating. Let us see how the Mondstadians sing her praises. Friends of Mondstadt, let us revel. Drink to your heart's content. To freedom, to the Animo Archon, to Vennessa, the first knight to grace this world. That wasn't even that long ago. I'm sure there were definitely nights before that. They're being dramatic drunkards. Sons and daughters of Mondstadt, may the gift of the Animo Archon be engraved in your hearts, and let it be known that this gift is not freedom, but just defiance. One thing I found interesting reading Mondstadt's stuff is that as much as Venti is not a present Archon, and people call this place an Archonless country, it's really not. They praise the Animo Archon a lot. They are more loyal to their Archon than a lot of the other countries we've been to. Especially Sumeru. They have so much more respect for Barbados than Sumeru does for Lord Kusanelli. But yeah, we know why that is. But still, it's hilarious. It's like, oh, look at this Archonless place with a giant church to its Archon. Interesting game disconnect there. It transpired in ages past. Friends, do excuse me for improvising, for it should be clear as day that the glory and freedom of Mondstadt were born when Barbatos struck his strings dolce. Poems sing of heroic fame, yet to commemorate unnamed freedom should they aim. Chained by the royals, Mondstadt could barely suspire, and festivities were but vanity games of the rich, beyond the grasp of the ordinary people. A withering dungeon Mondstadt was, in slavery games the royals gaily relished, oblivious to their place was the inmates were. A fiery-headed dame confined to a cell, from the southern plains did she hail, born free, but now bound by chains. Though restrained by a tyrant, her flesh remained. Still her pious soul never ceased to pray for her people, for Mondstadt, for elusive freedom, if she may. That is volume 1. Friends of Mondstadt, let us revel, drink to your heart's content. That seems to be, that was in the line. I want to check the ballads of the Squire. I feel like that line is used a lot. No? I feel like I've read that before, but maybe there's something of similar in the ballads of the Squire. Friends of Mondstadt, let us revel, drink to your heart's content. The day came when Barbados answered her devotion. The Animo Archon sought her fiery hair and descended to her position. Every being deserves a name, the spirit grinned. To weave your fair name into song I yearn. I seek nothing but your friendship in return. The girl happily repropriated. Her fears swiftly dissipated. I don't think that happened. I think she was still very wary. And so, to the battlefield she marched, to Barbados's singing voice. The demonic dragon fled from her might, and the people did rejoice. Corpulent aristocrats crawled under tables at such a valiant sight. Mondstadt is freedom, the wings sang for their people in delight. Lonely forest breezes converged jointly, they overthrew the tyrant's tower from the sky. Broken free from the shackles at last, the young lioness stood firm in the winds, with her head held high. And so the fiery-headed dame won herself prestigious fame. Her heart swelled with appreciation to sing by the Animo Archon's side, but no words of gratitude should she utter. Barbatos replied, "You first conducted what now transpired in your song. You have entrusted me with your friendship and your name. To praise your freedom my songs came. Friends, let us drink some more, for thence flows the freedom of Mondstadt. When days become nights and faces fill with despair, never forget the heroic tales of Vennessa, the dame with the flaming hair. Never cease to pursue freedom, even when the land is bare." It's quite sweet. It's not quite a bedtime story, but it's definitely changed into something that is a feel-good moral for Mondstadt, where they're just like, remember this woman and how she freed us. And it's a way of keeping away the issue that they had before, a way of trying to make sure the nobles stay down. If we remember this story, we hopefully won't end up with another tyrant. Fingers crossed they do. They don't. Words. You never know. We don't know where Varka is. Their closest thing they have to rulers are the Knights of Favonius at the moment. But I guess that's why Diluc is so mad sometimes. He has his own reasons to be mad at Favonius, but I like that he's a challenge to them, and that way Mondstadt is keeping its freedom a little bit better than some other areas, and being able to maintain a more whimsical feel when you go in. And generally, we don't have problems atmosphere. They do have problems. Obviously, we've got a lot of examples of them having problems. I also find it hilarious that there's only like one mention of the demonic dragon in this whole thing. To be honest, it's not even a very important plot point to Vennessa's story that she beat a dragon. Or at the very least, it's not important to this. I think in the comic, she made a deal. The nobles were getting quite threatened by her and her people and the potential uprising that was going to happen. So they sent them to die against the dragon, basically. But she did not die because Venti was there to help her out and direct her through song. Thus was the legend of the first Lion Fang Knight. I thought they'd mention that, at least in here. Or maybe that it would have had a volume 3 about her ascension to Celestia, but I'm surprised it doesn't have as much as I thought it would. That a lot of the other information we get about her is either must be in one of these other books, or mainly just from the web novel, the webcomic. Interesting in its lack of stuff. In stuff we already know. I thought there would be more, but there is not. And that is what we have learned about the game today. Thank you for watching. This has been me reading the game. If you have enjoyed, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. We will read more Genshin in the future. Goodbye.